Your take on it too?
Well, I think we've been struggling in certain areas, like you said, the short yardage stuff bothers me. The consistency running the ball bothers me a little bit. But it's it's part of those we're adjusting, and it's part of this RPO world that we're in right now with the quarterback. Before those things were handed off. Now when Dwayne looks at that, he looks out there and sees a one-on-one and it's wire wideouts. He's pulling it and giving those guys an opportunity. As where before, he'd hand that to Mike, we get 4 or 5 or 6, get in the groove and drive the ball. So that's been an adjustment for us. A running play, and then we go try to get more, and it's 3 or 4 RPOs. And so, that's been difficult the past few games, and we're trying to adjust to make it more consistent. That's the thing that bothers me. I just want more consistency.
How much of that is Dwayne not being a running quarterback, and how much is the offensive line just not blowing people off the ball?
Well, I think there's both. I think there's times that we are blowing people off the ball, and then I think there's times that one guy breaks down and misses a block. That's what's happened on those short yardage. Thayer missed one. Meach missed one, so there's been times where it's one breakdown. It's not the whole thing. It's a guy breaking down at a critical time and not doing his job, and that's the consistency that I'm talking about. That's what bothers me. I want it to be more consistent.
Greg, there's been times where we've seen this team sort of take a cumulative toll on a defense throughout the game, and then in the fourth quarter you're really hammering them. Is it hard to get that when you're running this kind of offense?
Well, I think it's harder. I don't know if it's hard, but you're right, because like you said, when you go through the course of the drive, 2 things that I've noticed. One is we're making more big plays in the pass game. If you go back and look at our drives the past few years, it's a 10, 12, 14 play drive, and 8 of them are runs. Now we run, we get a pass, then it's a 40-yard or a 50-yard pass, and then you go back to the sidelines and, hey, I wonder how that run would have worked. I don't know, we never got to it. So that's part of it, like you said, that pounding, those are what we call gut shots. And then in the fourth quarter, it makes it much easier. Now we're making bigger plays in the pass game, and it's not as consistent, and we don't have the feel for it. So, you're right, it's a good point.
Do your guys have to be a little less aggressive off the line on those RPOs to make sure they don't end up downfield? Or?
Yeah, you saw Isaiah got called downfield on the one. Yeah. He's knocking a 3 technique 8 yards downfield. If you watch the tape, and he's called because Dwayne pumped it and threw it down a little bit field. So some of those, they're a little bit nervous about being called downfield. He was upset about that penalty. I'm like, kids, you drove the guy 4 yards down the field. You're trying to finish a block. Great job. If it's called an RPO, that's part of what it is.
Greg, we hear a lot of defensive coaches say how much they hate RPO. Do offensive line coaches hate RPO?
I can't say
or
that.
Hate, not hate, but like
I can't say
it makes
that.
your life tougher.
It's hard. Before it wasn't hard because they know with JT, like you said, roll off the ball. We want them to roll off the ball, but in this RPO world, it's a different deal.
How different is it in the RPO with Dwayne versus JT?
I think it's a little bit because you see what Dwayne's doing. He's throwing them more. JT was going to run them more, hand them, or run it himself. So now they were concerned about JT pulling it, where now Dwayne's not a run threat. He's a threat to throw it. So it's much different for us, and the things and the looks that we're seeing and how they're trying to stop the pass game with certain blitzes. It opens up more RPOs than it had before.
It seems like a lot of teams are stacking the box, even though you guys are 3rd in the country in passing offense. So you would think like teams are going to be backing up, but it seems like they're actually stacking the box. Is that accurate?
At times.
Yeah.
There's times that it's not stacked, but it goes back to what you said. They want to stop Mike and JK from gutting them and getting them worn out. So they'll say, hey, you know what, maybe they're off in the throwing game and some of those things. But we have to do a great job when it's not stacked, when the box is in our favor to run the football.
Greg, what were you seeing out of Isaiah against Minnesota? It seemed like he was struggling a little bit.
He was. He had a great first half. And then the second half, once he's trying to be too perfect in that game. And once he made the penalty, once he had the sack, then he got flustered and lost his cool. And that's why I said, at the end of the third quarter, it's like, okay, you have to calm down and gain your composure back. You know what I'm saying? And then he did. And then you look at the 4 running plays in that last drive and put the game away. He was destroying people. But he lost his composure. That's one of the things that we have to work on with him is you got to keep your cool and just stay consistent. It's like anything else. If a bad play happens, you have to let it go. You have to go to the next play. When we get between series, we'll get it fixed and move on. He didn't let that go.
I know when we talked about him earlier in his career, he talked about that kind of stuff.
Same thing.
Things go. Do you feel like he got it fixed toward the end of that game, or is it a lingering thing you're a little concerned about?
Well, I'm always concerned about it. I'm going to keep talking to him about it. We're going to keep preaching. But the fact that what I was happy about was he gained it back in the fourth quarter, and he played a better fourth quarter like he had in the first half. But yes, it's a constant thing, not only with him because, like you said, in 16 he lost it a couple times. But last year he never did. There was not one episode where he did. So you think you're over it, and then all of a sudden it pops back up. But I'm like that with all the guys. I don't want any of them to get flustered about a play and then lose their composure like that.
So what do you teach your guys to stay on blocks on those RPOs? Like, what is the proper? Like, what do you tell them?
That's just effort and finish. getting the proper spot, and then the effort and finish. You have to finish it, not have to worry about being downfield and those things. Finish your block. If it happens, it happens. That's part of what we are in. Just finish your block and stay after people, and that's effort.
Health-wise, how you guys do? I know Brady Taylor was close, and then Thayer Munford left last week's game. Is he doing well now?
We're a little banged up right now. I don't know about Thayer yet for this week, but we're banged up. Brady's not back yet. Bowen's still out, and the guys, all the other guys, because of those things, are taking a lot of snaps. So we're banged up, but I think today was pretty good. I think they feel pretty good now, and hopefully we'll get Thayer back tomorrow and get him some work before the weekend.
How did Allaby look after you looked at the film? And
he played really well. He had one guy, the guy spun on him inside, but other than that, he came in at a good time and did a pretty good job. I was proud of him.
What's Michael Jordan doing? Obviously, it's a position switch, and you don't see too many 6-7 centers. Right?
Yeah, it's been a change for him, but he's really playing consistent. I'm happy with him. He had a couple screw ups just assignment wise, and what he did the other day in the Minnesota game. But throughout the year, he's been kind of consistent. I'm kind of happy. His snap accuracy's gone through the roof since the TCU game. We worked on that. We fixed his stance a little bit. He's getting more and more comfortable each game. I guess they said he was a midseason All-American yesterday by ESPN or something. So, I'd like to see him still even get better because I think there's more ahead. I don't think he's anywhere near the finished product. I think there's more in there.
Here's a question I think we've all gotten. Is the offensive line too tall to run block?
No, not at all.
Can you explain
last
why
year,
so that we can
DeMarco
explain?
was. All those guys last year, we ran the ball for 300 yards a game. We couldn't pass block last year. We couldn't make big plays in the pass game. So, that we were too tall to pass block. No, that's just attitude and effort.
Were you too short to pass block last year?
Yes.
I mean, do you feel that when it's crunch time and you need to ram it down their throats, so this offensive line can do it?
I hope so. Yeah, I believe they can. I'm anxious. I want to see those times. I want to see a crunch time when we have to go. Like at TCU, we got the ball at the 4, and we took 7 minutes off that clock and ran it to the 50. Those are the things that I want to see when we get an opportunity to run it when you have to run it.
When it's 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2.
Yeah, when it's 3rd and 1, those are critical times that we can't fail. Absolutely, we can't, and we got to keep working on it and pounding on it and making it part of what they do.
Do you think you'll get Brandon and Brady back at some point?
I don't know. I'm hoping we got a bye week next week where we'll get a good chance to evaluate those guys and hopefully work with them a little bit. They were both moving around today, still not doing anything. So I'm hoping the bye week gives us some time to get them back.
And if Thayer can't go, is it definitely Josh, or could Nick Petit slide in there possibly?
No, it'll be Josh to start right now. Yeah.
And Thayer did not practice today, so we're hoping tomorrow.
Right, I'm hoping tomorrow. And I'm looking for. He felt pretty good, so I'm looking at just like last week. No, it's just a hip. It's a little hip thing.
Hey, Greg, as Mike goes forward in his football career, do you think center's his best position? Or
I think it sure can be. Because he's got, for a tall guy like you guys were just talking about, for a tall guy, he bends pretty well. And he's just getting used to it right now. He's growing. Each game, he's gotten better and better and better. It was difficult for him early on. I was worried about it early on, and then the snap consistency at TCU, that concerned me. And he's fixed that. Now he's coming off. He's better pulling. He's better in his one-on-one. We put him in a lot of one-on-one situations in pass pro that I was concerned with him snapping, and he's improved. So each week, I think he's getting better.
thanks, Greg.